I'm talking Angela Simmons and Yo Gotti, once the epitome of power couple dreams, quietly severed ties without fanfare. But even that's not the twistiest part. Because right in that dramatic silence, someone new steps in with a glow so intense it's practically seismic. GloRilla. And the way she slid into this whole narrative, flawless, strategic, and inevitable. What just happened here? Who's winning, who's ghosting, and who's sitting in the shadows, watching it all unfold? Let's break it down, piece by scandalous piece. Back in the day, maybe 2022, 2023, you remember the moment Gotti declared his love publicly. Not just a casual mention either. He literally stated on a verse, "I got a crush on Angela." That bar was out loud, out there, and intentional. It was a public manifestation that said, "I'm in their head, and I'm calling this into existence." And what happened next? Angela Simmons, quietly graceful, elegantly poised, said yes, dates in exclusive locales, matching fits, and paparazzi-ready appearances. Gotti swapped his gritty street rap persona for a more romantic, softer aura. Angela served elegance, couple goals, more like couple goals squared. It was the kind of love story the internet eats up, stories of billionaire meets gentlewoman. A romance that gave escapism, extravagance, and a sense of real-life fantasy. And let's not forget the branding potential. Podcasts, guest appearances together, speculation about joint ventures. Social media excitement skyrocketed. They were positioned to be iconic. But then, things shifted, very subtly at first. It started with slowed-down tagging. Passive captions replaced affection-filled quotes. The occasional similar day selfies instead of coordinated couple shots. Red carpet pairings shifted to solo strolls. Then, cue the dreaded unfollow. On Instagram, on Twitter, everywhere. For influencers, and especially celebrity couples, an unfollow isn't just a button. It's a mic drop. It's a we're done without saying we're done. Especially when there's no breakup narrative to soften the blow. No cartoon tear emoji post, no breakup track, not even a vague time apart to focus on self-statement. Just silence. Oh, but Angela spoke, just not through the gram. Her posts quietly shifted from love bombs to empowerment, affirmations, solo glam, fashion shots with subtle taglines like "knowing my worth," "nothing petty," "nothing messy," just shining on her own terms. Meanwhile, Gotti. He went back to business, absorbed in music, brand deals, studio sessions, tours. Not a hint of breakup bars or melancholic playlists. Business as usual, which screamed several things. This chapter ended by choice, and it ended clean. Let's put the realism lens on for a second. Angela wasn't just a partner, she's a mother. She's also someone who's endured intense grief, losing her son's father suddenly, and in real time. She opened up about it, therapy 2 days after. No filters, no reality show dramatics. Just honesty. I didn't know how to process it. And she said she leaned on her family, holding up through grief as a solo parent. That's deep, that's real. In an era of glam and branding, Angela allowed herself the quietude of truth. And when the couple started dissolving, she had already embarked on a healing journey that was beyond Instagram metrics. So when sources started saying she felt she was giving more in the relationship than she was receiving, it didn't come as a surprise. Imagine romantic gestures replaced by business-heavy schedules. Feeling like the fruit of your investment wasn't being harvested. Anger? Maybe not. Hurt? Probably. But Angela dealt like royalty. Withdraw, refocus, reclaim. The unfollow was the final punctuation point. On the flip side, Yo Gotti. The business mogul never flinched. His timeline didn't pause. He's dropping singles. He's in studio sprees. He's pressing play on touring, brand collabs, entrepreneur-level moves. Not a heartbroken megastar vibe. Instead, a vibe of a man who's focused and maybe relieved because silence on relationships equals clarity in business decisions. But that silence, it raises questions. Is he unfazed because Angela never meant the same? Did business always take precedence in his hierarchy? Or is he avoiding public fallout for the sake of image because publicizing it could mean press scrutiny, critical tweets, or label complications? Whatever the angle, Gotti seems to have detached smoothly, which opens up room for something or someone else to take the spotlight. Now meet GloRilla. Maybe you know her, but now, she's not just the rapper from Memphis anymore. She's the new face lighting up Yo Gotti's circles and social feeds. The transformation, stunning, I mean, if there was ever a makeover that grabbed timelines by the collar, this was it. Fresh face, possibly a new nose. Every timeline detective is clocking the work. Sleek hair, designer couture. She didn't just glow, she glowed supernova. But what stands out is how Gotti's been supporting her. Front and center. Events, she's at the velvet rope. Jet, she's in first class. The drip, iced out. Camera energy, 24-karat queen vibes. That doesn't scream artist launch. That screams spotlight focused. Yes, brands do it all the time. An artist enters, bleeds into the team's energy. But this, personal, intentional. It feels like welcome to the family energy. And then that post, the one that dropped a vibe specimen. Flawless glam, fashion fit, mirror selfie, or pro studio shot, depending on angle. Caption reads more like stage direction than explanation. Don't ask how, just know I got it. Boom, a caption that feeds rumor mill mouths and brand culture critics alike. Seemed innocent, but made waves. The internet detectives woke up in unison. Side-by-side comparisons of baby pics. Nose, check. Nose job, maybe. She hit that note, hard of unapologetic reinvention and brand-ready precision. If this was a model campaign, she'd be signing. If this was a Valentino dream, they'd already be talking to her. That's how polished that moment landed. And, more importantly, it dropped an intentional storyline. GloRilla is not just new. She's evolved. She's downloaded. She's room ready for the headlines. But that's not all. Because next, Glo goes live. Calm, no tension. No pull-up or shade language to her predecessor. She's sipping. She's looking fresh. Comment section is exploding with who is that? Is that Glo? New vibe. And Glo handled it like a queen. Smirk. Hair flip. Confident face. No clap back. No mention. Just smoldering quiet dominance. She disarmed a crowd without saying a word. Think of that live moment as the soft press tour, not sponsored, not implied, but a live human in the moment. And it worked on emotional frequency. Fans felt they were seeing her, not a highlight reel. In 2025, that kind of realness. Priceless. It says, I'm in control of my narrative. I don't need controversy to trend. I can trend by being myself. Then there's Angela. She's been quieter, but deeper. Interviews started appearing. She opened up about raising a child without his father, losing him suddenly, going to therapy just 2 days afterward. She talked about the weight of expectations, the dream of a perfect family crushed by trauma. She admitted she never thought she'd be a single mom. She shared that she found refuge in family support. None of it was sensationalized. None of it was weaponized for clicks. It was simply real. Which contrasts beautifully with Glo's move, which is loud, polished, aspirational marketing. One is raw healing. The other is unfiltered glam transformation. Both have compelling energy. One is introspective. The other is radiant on command. That tension between the truthful and the cinematic makes this narrative even richer. So here's the million-dollar question. How much of this is business? Because Yo Gotti is a mogul, yes, but he also builds brands. And brand building often equals strategic artist rollouts, songs, visuals, the drip, the brand partnerships. But there's a personal feel underneath. The velvet roped attendance, the affectionate glances, the quiet hush behind it all seems planned. Glo's rollout didn't happen by accident. She was prepped, polished, poised, and Gotti was in sight. Meanwhile, Angela, she left the narrative. Her presence reduced to podcast interviews, therapy talk, motherhood blog posts. Not glamorous, but necessary. Not sensational, but significant. Some say that was the plot twist Real Love speaks. Walk away with grace, keep your self-worth, don't buy into the spectacle. That's legacy energy. That's the long game. And in pure 2025 influencer sociology, she just won that round. The timeline is splitting. Some memes mock, some get sentimental, some say nothing but fire emojis. But the narrative is undeniable. We're witnessing an evolution. So, what's coming? Let's break down a few potential scenarios. GloRilla drops a single-produced / supported by Gotti, with accompanying VFX-heavy music video, luxury fashion cameos, and, you guessed it, mass media buzz. If this hits, the spotlight gets hotter. Angela releases a mental health-centric docuseries or mini-podcast, digging into grief, healing, single motherhood, and fame. That could redefine her brand to deeper levels. Yo Gotti does a press cycle, talking business, maybe addressing his role in bringing GloRilla to CMG, maybe reflecting, or not, on past relationship. If either reconnects publicly, well, that's a plot twist season 2. But current silence indicates that's not happening anytime soon. As of now, the calm before the next storm is thrilling. Social watchers, hip-hop fans, and female empowerment advocates, everyone's on hold for the next major scene. All right, y'all, time for speculation. Who do you stand? Team Silent Sacrifice and Healing with Angela, or Team New Era Queen with GloRilla in her orb? Drop your verdict in the comments. And look, keep it respectful. Because this story is a case study in public personas and private realness. It's about what's seen and what's hidden.